are with a guest.
Back with Trish. What's the name of the YouTube channel?
Gearhead Gal.
Gearhead Gal.
If
And
that don't sound Western, I don't know what does.
what's that?
I said if that don't sound Midwestern, I don't know what does. I'm a gal.
Well, yeah, Gearhead Gal. Ooh, I could be one. Or sure, or suppose so.
Well, don't you know?
Hey there, eh? Hey there, eh? And you're working on motorcycles, huh?
Getting into learning more about bikes. I'm actually auto mechanic right now. I own a shop in southeastern Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, first bike I ever got on was like this little Honda mini trail or something like that. And I don't know, I loved it. It was fun.
How'd you get into bikes? Like, what got you on one?
I have like just a real balls to the wall personality, and I feel like anything that I can do to feed that side of myself, I'm there.
Nice. So,
Yeah.
I mean, is it like a family thing, or you just sort of branched out on your own? Are you the black sheep, or?
No. So a little bit about me, I guess, if you'd like me to give my intro.
Yeah.
So I grew up in North Bend, Wisconsin. I don't know if you know where that is. It's Melville area. By Black River, kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So North Bend, super unincorporated. My family were homesteaders, actually. I'm one of 8. I'm the 7th. My dad is a real just fucking salt of the earth guy. He raised us all, hated the government. So I was born and raised a cabin that my dad built with his own 2 hands out of old telephone poles. It was a 2-bedroom cabin. And he, I mean, just there was a lot of outlaws in my family, not specifically bikers, but other things that I guess we won't discuss for
sure.
So yeah, so all my sisters were way older than me. My brothers were in the bottom half with me, so I always hung out with all the guys, hunting, fishing, trapping, riding stuff, fixing stuff. That's what I enjoy. So
that's what created the balls to the wall attitude then.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, when my dad was younger, he drank a lot, and he'd go and he liked to fight. And whenever he got like kicked out of a bar or whatever, he'd go home and just get wasted, and he'd call the cops on himself just so he could go argue with them. I mean, he's 70 years old. He's healthy as can be, smokes like a chimney, drinks like a fish, and nothing wrong with him.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, more power to him. Yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah,
yeah. Got you into, you're in Minnesota now though, right?
Yeah.
What made you go to Minnesota?
The government here sucks. I'm just gonna throw that out there. But that's where the shop was for sale. Bought that the end of 2019. Mm-hmm. So yeah. And it's not too far from Wisconsin. I was actually living in Holmen at the time. That's where I was going to school. And so, yeah, I lived in Holmen. So, I mean, it wasn't a huge move.
What kind of repair shop is it?
Auto repair.
Like just general or?
Yeah, we don't do like any sort of body work or anything like that. Yeah.
You find the noise that every customer hears and nobody else can fucking hear, but they can fucking hear it. That's when I worked on cars. That was my number one dread, is when some, no offense to our listeners, but soccer mom would come in and she'd be like, it's making a noise. What kind of noise? So it's this specific kind of noise that only I can hear on this specific road, and I need you to find it and fix it. And if you can't do it, then you're trying to rip me off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Never happened.
That kind of shop.
It never happens when they bring it in. You can never get it to make the noise, but you can have some fun with that. So you can be like, well, what kind of a noise is it making? And then you can ask them to do it, and they'll be like sitting there,
Oh yeah, it turns into charades and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So they come in for an oil change, and next thing you know, their brake light comes on 2 weeks later, and that's your fault.
It's your fault. Yep.
Yep. You must have broke it. It was fine up until you worked on it. That's why I don't work on cars anymore. That's why I'm a welder.
Yeah.
The public.
Yeah. Or my favorite is like, we're booked out like a week and a half, sometimes 2 weeks at a time, especially during summer. And somebody will call, can you squeeze me in for an oil change today? Like, yes, please let me drop everything I'm doing to squeeze you in for an oil change when you were overdue 2 months ago. You could have called me then,
No, go to one of the other 65 fucking lube and fucking oil change places that'll get you in and out in 15 minutes because they hire guys who do minimum wage and they may or may not put your drain plug back in.
You probably get a better deal on the oil because they go through so much of it.
Well, yeah, it's just garbage fucking oil.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Anyway. In their own oil sometimes. They want to bring in their oil, and then, the cost of an oil change is not essentially, it doesn't even make up for it in labor.
Oh.
And people bring in their own oil and fill. Oh, my oil and filter's on the seat. Like, all right, thanks.
Well, I remember fucking decades ago, back in a crazy time called the 90s, I used to work at Jiffy Lube,
Okay.
And customers would bring in their own oil. And the oil change would be the exact same price. And they're like, well, I brought in my own stuff. And it's like, yeah, we don't care. It is what it is. You're paying for the service, not the oil, because we're getting 55-gallon drums of the crap. And, yeah, it's just, sorry, I don't know what to tell you, because they thought they were going to get this amazing deal if they went out and spent, $15 on oil, and then they're spending another, fuck, I'm about to date myself. I think it was like $20 for an oil change or something like that. And it's like, yeah, sorry, it's $20 for an oil change. You bring your own shit in, that's good for you. I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
But,
yeah.
So you want to get into working in the bikes, huh? Working on bikes, huh?
I do, yeah. So I actually am looking to start my own either Femme Fatale chapter in my area or Lita's. And so, yeah, that's what I'm looking to do. Being a woman and biking, I guess, it's important to me to know, especially if you're traveling alone, like you're going to want to know how to do some basic shit on your bike. So long as you're not just out there riding, using it as a photo prop, trying to, create a big thirst trap for yourself. Like if you're actually enjoying riding, I think you should definitely know how to do stuff, to your own bike, so.
Well, it's not a horrible idea just to, there's a ton of guys out there, because everybody's like, oh, women don't know shit. Okay, I get it, but there's a lot of guys that don't know shit either.
Yeah.
I don't know how many fucking dudes I had to fucking help on the side of the fucking road on some little Mickey Mouse fucking repair, like they picked up a fucking nail going down the interstate, and I got to put a rope plug in their tire, and they're blown away and thought I just did wizardry on their fucking motorcycle because I knew how to use a rope plug.
Yeah. One of the little gemstones probably fell off their little Rock Revival jeans and got in the tire, and that's probably what happened. Did you check for a gemstone?
There you go. If only Affliction made fucking toolkits, I think there'd be a lot more mechanics.
They'd be very expensive.
They would be very expensive.
And they would be very flashy. A lot of bling on that kit.
Yes. Do you prefer Matco or Snap-on?
Snap-on.
Snap, really?
Yeah, Matco's shit.
Matco, you think so?
Oh, God, yes. Matco, Cornwall, and I hate to say it, but Mac's kind of going in that direction. It's just, it's a grade above Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
It's not the greatest. Ever since Sears got into trouble, I wouldn't buy a Craftsman tool to save my life, because now what is it? True Value and Ace and like in our area, Farm and Fleet and all these other places are starting to carry Craftsman. You can't just go in and replace it, because it used to be the old saying, well, you can't. It's hard to fucking track down a Snap-on truck. It's hard to track down a Mac truck. I can go and drive to Sears 7 days of the week. Nowadays, you can't do that because, there's like 4 Sears in America anymore.
Yeah.
They don't even have the special tower anymore in Chicago. Now it's Wilson Tower, whatever the fuck it's called. Willis, fucking Sears Tower.
Yeah.
Anyways, but, Snap-on, if you use a Snap-on tool, you can just tell that it's a higher quality, it's made in Kenosha, and, yeah, it's just better. It's more pricey, and it is what it is, but it's just better.
I don't have Snap-on money. I'm more of a Pittsburgh guy,
And well, that's just it. Pittsburgh, you could go to Harbor Freight with a broken Pittsburgh tool and get a new one.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that with a Craftsman anymore.
No,
they tell you, oh, you got to send it in. Oh, okay, great. Because I want to wait 4 weeks for a T27 fucking socket.
Yeah, years ago, I used to go to garage sales and pick up old Craftsman tools that were all busted up.
Yeah.
And then bring them in and get a new tool for free. Yeah. Walk into the store. Probably why they stopped doing that, because the guys like me doing that shit.
So we're never going to be sponsored by Mac or Cornwell or Mac at this point, or Craftsman for that matter.
No, we're only waiting for one sponsor,
and that's Fleshlight.
That's right. And
they never reach out.
Never reach out.
We try.
No, we tried with Jason Momoa, but that really fizzled out. Now there's a restraining order.
A fucking piece of shit, Jason Momoa. I'm gonna talk about Jason Momoa real quick. You know he's got like a fashion line of Harley Davidson shit now.
Yeah,
and he's doing that whole thing out there. It's like, dude,
he's really pushing that friggin' Harley electric bike too, man. Yeah, I know.
Popular opinion, but I don't think Jason Momoa is all that hot.
I don't know if we could talk to her again. I don't know.
I mean, hey, you know, all jokes aside, you know, I would assume that. Well, I don't know. Anyways, you know, the reason why we always made fun of him and, you know, breaking character for a second here is because he is kind of a Hollywood goof. You know what I mean? Like, he's a hipster. At the end of the day, the guy's a fucking hipster. He's, I'm in old shit because I want to be fun and unique. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. You've never gotten fucking grease underneath your fingernails a day in your goddamn life.
He was cool as fuck in the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial, though. Just stoned out of his mind. Oh, wow, fuck. It's like, oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
This is on?
He's just a goof, man. You know,
I know.
I don't take him seriously.
No, not at all. I mean, you know, there was always Lorenzo Lamas anyway.
Well, I mean, he was fucking, at least he was a bounty hunter.
He was bounty hunter.
At least he was drop kicking people with
exactly,
a duster.
Exactly, with his karate, man.
Trish, do you think a duster is sexy on a man? Do you think that is a?
We're gonna go back with that argument again, aren't we? Yeah.
I don't know.
About this weekend.
Like, you can tell who's the pretty boys from what they ride a lot of the times, and I'm just not attracted to pretty boys. So, and that's the problem too. Like, if you have a lot of money and you're flashing that money, that's like the biggest turnoff to me. So I'm a weird lady. I don't find the typical things attractive in men. So I'm probably not the one to ask.
Well, we want to ask because, see, we're thinking about getting dusters for everybody in the club for wintertime, you know, because we can't ride anyways because there's snow on the ground and it's Wisconsin and life sucks. Florida. Well, he lives in Florida, so he doesn't get a duster. And they don't make a XXX, 666X quadruple duster. I don't think. I'm just saying. Whole cow went into your vest. But anyways,
two cows.
But anyways, we want to get dusters, and we're trying to bring that back because we feel in the '90s a lot of motorcycle movies and whatnot or whatever. There was always a guy in a duster.
Raising Arizona,
right?
It was perfect.
Yeah.
Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Yes.
They had dusters. Made no sense.
Yeah.
How do you ride a bike with a duster on?
Especially in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Hot.
It is hot.
Go ahead. You were going to say?
Oh, I wasn't going to say anything. I'm just
looking. On sometimes. Don't mind us.
No.
You've seen the show. You know what you're up against here.
Duster or no duster? The guy walks into your local pub, you know.
No bling, just a duster.
Wearing a duster. What do you think?
It's going to be a hard pass for me, man.
God damn it, I knew it. Well, we're going to wear them anyways. Fuck it. I don't care.
That's all right.
Look out for the fucking Biker Lifestyle Podcast dusters coming your way on, we're never going to make them.
We'll try to get sponsorship.
Yeah.
It won't happen.
We won't get it.
No. Nobody wants to sponsor this shit show.
Nobody does. So what's the bike of choice these days for you?
You're going to laugh at me, but going around town, just putting around town, I have a lot of fun. So there's a few bikes that sit in my garage. My 2017 Honda Rebel is what I've been riding all summer. I haven't been taking long trips or anything, but I just have a soft spot for Honda. I mean, being a mechanic, you can't not have a soft spot for Honda. I mean, it's kind of like that booty call that's just always there, and you know it's there, and you can depend on it. And she'll take a licking and keep on kicking. So that's why.
Well, there's a whole lot to digest in all that, what you just said. Yeah.
So yeah.
The Honda Rebel.
Well, the thing about Hondas, and my first bike was a Honda, and I've owned one other one since then. And Hondas are the best no frills bullshit bike because it'll always start, it'll always run, but it's not the fastest. It doesn't stop the fastest. It's not the coolest looking. It's just a motorcycle, and it's gonna work every time you go to fucking ride it.
They are well engineered.
It'll fire right the fuck up.
Yep.
You know, it's not, you know, like you know, when we talk about the fastest bikes, what gets brought up? The fucking ZX14, the Hayabusa, the H2, yada yada yada. The VMAX, you know. But all those bikes have their own quirks and problems and shit breaks and yada yada yada. Honda just keeps on fucking trucking along.
When you work on shit all day, I want something I can just get on and go. I don't want to sit and come to my garage, sit and fuck around, do this, do that, you know, to go out riding, because I don't have a ton of time to go out riding, you know, being a business owner and whatever. And so it's mostly highway driving around me anyway. I mean, every highway that leads here, it's just basically a country road. So,
what size Rebel is it?
Huh?
What's the CCs on the Rebel?
250. It's small. Yeah.
I would look like a bear on a mini bike on that.
Yeah.
I'm tiny though. I'm like 5'2", 120 pounds. So I'm.
So what other bikes you got in your garage?
There is a 2012 Sporty Custom XL 1200. And then, whoops, somebody's trying to call me. I don't know how to ignore that. Can you guys still hear me?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Okay. And then there's a 2010 Honda Shadow, and then 72 Honda CL77. But that's in pieces. So maybe a winter project or something. I don't know.
That's the great thing about living in the upper Midwest. We get winters so we can fix our broken stuff.
I'm looking at getting a heater in my garage this year because, I don't know, it's too cold.
Yeah.
I'll be people that move to Florida when I retire too, because it's just too fucking cold up here. I don't know. And it gets depressing in the winter. You can't get out and ride, you know. What do? Sit around, drink, you know?
Yep.
It gets cold in Florida in the wintertime. For about 2 weeks, it gets down to like 50.
Yeah? In like February or something? Yeah.
January, yeah.
It was 57 when I rode home last night.
Yeah, I know. I mean, if Florida winters is like a September in Wisconsin.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know, hot in the daytime, cold at night.
So you got to put a windshield on. No,
Yeah,
I hear you with the simplicity thing. I mean, you know, we had a kid. Well, he was actually was he episode 1 or 2? Rico.
Episode 2.
Episode 2. Rico. He recently came back around. Rico's had a tough time these past couple years. You know, he's going through a thing or two. But he showed back up. We had a little soiree down here. We made it wasn't really a seafood boil. It's like seafood just eating.
Yeah, we had oysters and clams and
shark tacos. Yeah. Anyway, so Rico shows up, and he shows up because Rico kind of doesn't have a pot to piss in, you know, because he's from Uruguay.
Uruguay.
No, fucking South America.
Down there.
Yeah, Mexican place. Anyways, and he shows up on this fucking 87 Honda Shadow. And he tells me he paid $300 for it. And I laughed at him. I said, dude, your fucking bike costs less than my rear tire.
Yeah.
For my bike. But at the same fucking time, I mean, he's out there in the wind, you know, it's still cruising around and it's still so, I mean, when people talk shit about Hondas, I'm like, you know, I get it that they're kind of dorky and they're kind of, I don't know, they're more of an appliance than a motorcycle if you want to look at it like, oh, he's got a soul, you know. Well, you know what? I'll take fucking firing up every goddamn day versus a soul any day of the week.
Well, you have to stop breaking your motorcycle.
Well, that's just it. You know, when people talk about, you know, going fast and having a cool bike, hey, I got a bike that makes some fucking power. And every once in a while, there's 2 fucking weeks where it's fucking broken and I'm waiting on fucking parts because I broke the goddamn thing because a part that's never supposed to break broke.
Yeah.
So there's something to be said about this bone stock Honda fucking riding this, that, and the other thing. You know?
Yeah.
So this YouTube channel, what are you trying to do with it? What do you want to try to accomplish? Just how-tos or?
Yeah, how-tos. I think my next video is going to be how to pick up your bike if you need it. So I started it because, like I said, I want more women to get out there, and I guess not even just women either, but like new riders that, you know, you can learn how to do stuff yourself. I think it's just common knowledge. I really think it should be part of getting your motorcycle endorsement is knowing how to do this stuff. Like, you better know how to pick your bike, you know, you should know all the different aspects of your bike, at least safety inspection. You know, you can't get by real easy not knowing the basics. So I don't know. We'll see where it comes or where it goes. I'm not good with technology. I'm terrible with technology. And so super janky equipment. And it's like, I don't know how you guys feel, but like anytime I see myself on camera, it's just like so cringy. And it's just like, you know.
Out of my own voice.
This is like episode 113 for us, so we're way over that phase by now.
Yeah, I realized I'm a garbage human.
Yeah.
But it's trash can, not trash can. So fuck it. Here we go.
Yeah.
I want to know if you ever want to feel really good about yourself. A movie I watched recently, I don't know why, but have you ever watched The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia?
Yeah.
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 After I watched it, I was like, wow, I'm doing all right in life. Like I'm good.
Well, yeah. Well, there's always somebody worse. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many fucking times I fucking, like yesterday, went hard in the fucking paint and woke up and felt like I was dying and dead at the exact same time.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there questioning everything in life in front of the clubhouse on the fucking bench and realizing I got to go to work in 3 fucking hours to be productive for 10 hours. And I just want to crawl in a hole and die.
Yeah.
At the exact same time, I'll see an ambulance go by and it's flying through town. And I'm like, well, at least I'm doing better than somebody else because they ain't nobody pick me up. They're expecting me to fucking get off my ass and do something in my life. So
yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, I'm not trashing up where somebody's not going to put me on TV and give me money. You know, shout out the Gas Monkey Garage. But
yeah. So I don't know. I mean, hopefully, I guess my big thing is I'd like to start getting like different parts from parts companies, doing demos and stuff like that. I mean, free crap from companies is always cool. I feel
yeah, Bri the Biker. That guy, he's like professional. Like his channel, he doesn't swear and stuff, and he like makes money off like stuff. Like he does all the.
And he's real tech savvy too. It's like
super tech savvy. Yeah, yeah. He's like a guy who does things.
Hit him up though; he'll help you out.
Oh yeah. Especially since you came on here and you're like a real person, because sometimes we get fucking weirdos that fucking hit us up asking dumb shit. But yeah, Bri, he's like a tech savvy fucking entrepreneur / somehow figured out how to get sponsorship. And Memphis Shades don't give us a goddamn thing.
Jeez.
You know, but they're sponsoring everybody else.
We tried all sorts of stuff. Johnson & Johnson at the Purell there for a while.
Yeah, we were trying to get a Purell sponsorship.
I lit myself on fire with it.
You did.
I did.
We tried to get a KY sponsorship. That didn't pan out.
Right. I mean,
we're working on Fleshlight, and that seems like it's going to be a dead end. But Bri the Biker, he's like doing product reviews, and he's kind of a big deal in that whole genre.
Okay, you guys all have to get an OnlyFans. That's what you're missing.
We're working. I'm trying to do sit-ups, so I'm going to try to get like an app, not like a 6-pack, but just like one. You know.
I got a shirt from Sassy Pants. You had her on here before, right?
Yep.
The Thick Boy Fan Club.
Mm-hmm.
Thick with 2 C's.
That's right.
There's women that are into that. There's no shame in that game. There's
chubby chasers.
I'm like skinny fat though.
Well, hear me out on this, okay? So why might you like a thick guy? Several reasons. One, I'm in the Midwest. It gets cold. I'm a little person. You're going to keep me warm, right? If they're thick, they probably know what they're doing in the kitchen. I like to eat.
Yeah.
That works for me. Another reason, if somebody breaks into your house, do you want some scrawny ass guy hopping up and trying to take somebody on? No, I want my man thick, some meat on him.
And armed.
Yes, and armed. Yeah.
Rides a motorcycle, is that 4?
Yeah.
That helps.
Probably helps,
yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Getting motorcycles because shit's didn't like it.
Right.
Yeah, this morning I had to go to Winona. I had an appointment this morning, so I left my house. It was like 7:30. I see it's like 55 degrees out. I'm like, should I take my bike or not? I'm like, yeah, I'll take my bike. It was super foggy outside. So like, I'm sure you guys ride country roads and all over the place, right?
Oh, yeah.
So in some places more than others, you'll start kind of feeling like a Disney princess. You got all these animals throwing themselves at you essentially when, you know, you're going down the road. So a couple deer ran out in front of me today. And then, I get to Winona, I'm on the highway. Some guy pulls out right in front of me. And it's like, he looked right at me, you know, and you get that all the time. But somebody told me there was a study done where people, they're not as intimidated by a motorcycle, like subconsciously. So they don't see it as a threat. So they'll like keep going as opposed to being like a semi or something. But then I'm sitting here at a 45-degree angle because my bike dies and people are honking at me and some guy yelled something out of his window. And it's just like, fuck you, you know, with your little piece of shit Saturn eye on, you know, run along. But
I just want to back up. I don't know if either of us has ever felt like a Disney princess.
I feel like Disney princess more than you know.
Okay, well, there's some things I don't know
Sometimes
about
I gotta
you,
let it go.
I thought I knew you. I thought I knew you at this point.
yeah,
I was going to say, I feel more like Marlon Perkins. If that's,
Who the fuck is Marlon Perkins?
he's this old dude on TV, man. He was like, the Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. I'm dating myself. Nonetheless, okay, let's move on. You mentioned back something
I know
about
Red Green.
Red Green. That's the Canadian dude.
Yeah,
he's pretty cool.
Red Green, he's funny.
Yeah, he is pretty cool. You had mentioned the Litas. Is that like Stilettos on Steel type thing?
Yeah.
it's similar. So Madison actually has Alita's chapter. The cities has Alita's chapter too. It's similar to like Stilettos on Steel. Anything that I've seen from like the femme fatales though, I can get down with that. You know, they seem pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, the whole when we were kind of fucking around before we started recording about how we're an all men's club and it is what it is, and then but I mean I don't know, I got no problem with girls wanting to fucking or start something up, and
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing, because let's be honest, guys are dicks. You put like an interracial. You put like a co-ed club together. I mean, there's going to be these unique problems,
Yeah.
I agree. Yep.
Well, like in the MC world, right? Like, say you're in like a traditional MC, it's men only, blah blah blah. We have a certain way of sorting out our problems,
Yeah.
Like if we get to a certain point where we can't come to an understanding with words, well then it may or may not get physical or whatever. I mean, what happens if your treasurer is a female and your vice president is a male and there's a disagreement and yada, 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 and things are getting heated and the vice president fucking knocks out the female treasurer? I mean, as a guy, you're like, well, damn, you can't do that. But at the same time, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
Fuck. And then women are always like, and I've had this conversation before, they're like, well, you got to settle it with words. I'm like, that's the thing. We're guys. We can't always do that.
No.
It's true.
It's just how guys.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, I've always hung out with men more than women anyway, just because that's who I resonate with more. But I do understand, the aspect of, what you're saying, and women definitely don't get physical as much as men do. And then if women do get physical, they hate each other forever. It's done. You can throw a few punches with a guy and you're shaking hands 5 minutes later.
Fuck, we'll be having drinks and.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's over. Yeah.
Some of my best friends have punched me in the face.
Yeah. So
No, women, it's a vendetta now for the rest of your life.
And see, I'm a little different that way. My brothers used to beat the hell out of me, and that it definitely made me stronger. Like when I was younger, I got kicked out of high school for fighting, and I had to go to the local tech college to finish. And at a certain point you realize it's stupid, like I can have a temper on me, but now I'm older and, you don't want to do stupid shit. You have a lot riding on you at that point. Like,
I'm older and I still do stupid shit.
What's that?
I'm older and I still do stupid shit.
No, it's 100% true. He does.
It's true.
And that's something definitely I have to consider too, starting, any sort of club or anything like that is I'm not only responsible for myself, but I'm also responsible for, all my sisters that would be in the group as well. So.
So you can just like start a chapter up, like get in touch with them, and.
You need 3 people to start the Litas. The Femme Fatales, I'm not quite sure. Still kind of in the process of learning everything. I don't want to be disrespectful to them either, though, because, you know, there is a process to be a probate and then, you know, to get into the club. I don't want to be, you know, just this young buck over here, like, I'm just going to start my own chapter, you know, because I think you guys would probably agree that there's definitely a certain amount of respect that's learned when you're a probate, and as opposed to just going ahead and starting your own club. Like, it's a process.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it like, when it comes to females, I have no idea how they fire up, and they all seem to be kind of different. And I mean, they're kind of adjacent to our world, you know, like they're around, but we don't know what the fuck they're doing, you know, like they just kind of do their own thing.
Yeah.
You know, like Stiletto on Steel. You know, we had Amy on.
We had a bunch of them on for one episode too.
We had 3.
3 of them.
One of them was Amy.
Yeah.
And long story short, you know, we were talking about how do you start, and they just like, well, we just started. We just like got in touch with them, and they did a thing, and somehow or another they became Stiletto on Steel, and I'm kind of like,
oh, here we are.
And then
Sorry.
it's like, I like, okay, cool. And then I heard there's other ones where you got to probate and you got to go through the process, kind of like a men's club, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. But they all look the same to us, because I mean,
oh, what's the one out of Florida? There was the guy who was a warlock.
Oh yeah.
His wife.
I have no fucking.
His wife started one. They were
Yeah,
like 1%ers or something.
No, they weren't 1%ers. They were like a 3-piece patch.
Yeah.
Something like, I don't know. But, you know, I don't plan on transitioning, so I never paid attention.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
I identify as a male, and I continue to do so.
Yeah. I like to do everything myself, and like, absolutely all the respect to all the old ladies out there, but I can't be that kind of person. Like, I can't get on the back of somebody else's bike. I got to have my own. That's just how I am, I guess. And
nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
I mean, well, like Amy, for that matter.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, fuck, we hang out with Amy all the fucking time.
She can ride.
Fuck, I know, dude, yeah. And, I mean, she'll keep up, no fucking problem. Fucking, she's down. She wants to go to the strip club more than we do.
Yeah, that's true.
Really?
She's not even, well, she might be a little, but, I mean, she likes dudes, you know.
All the strippers love her, though.
But the strippers do love her. They do. Fucking A. But, yeah, I mean, she's just, I don't know, like, you know, when you hear about the whole transgender argument, like, you know, oh, I was born in the wrong body. I mean, I don't know if that's a thing or not, like, if that's real or if they just fucking crazy people. But, like, Amy's she's one of the guys. She really fucking is. I mean, she'll get fucking hammered drunk, fucking mouth like a fucking sailor, the whole shebang. Wants to go do all the wacky, crazy shit, but at the same time wears nail polish and puts on makeup.
Huh.
Yeah, she did Naked and Afraid.
Yeah, she did. Can we talk about
Oh, really?
Well, we can, but like we can't really talk about anything else other than that she did it.
Amy did Naked and Afraid recently, and her episode hasn't aired yet.
Yeah,
once
until next year. Yeah.
Next year?
Yeah, it'll be in March.
That's yeah.
And see, there are women out there that are like that, and it's just, you know, finding those women to hang out with. You know, a lot of women I meet on bikes, it seems like most of them really want to ride like sport bikes. Also seems like a lot of them like to use bikes as photo props and just, you know, to get attention with it and stuff like that. And it's fine if that's what you're after. More power to you. But I'm definitely an old soul. I'd like to join a club with older women. I get along a lot better with the older crowd. You know, I should have been a baby, I think.
What's the heck?
I said I should have been a baby boomer.
A baby boomer?
You guys have all the good music. You guys have, I mean, life is just so complicated these days, you know? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. Getting old's way overrated, let me tell you.
Yeah. I'll be 33 at the end of the year.
How old?
33.
Fuck, I don't even remember 33. Jesus fucking Christ.
God damn, that was 27 years ago for me. I just turned 60 last week.
I'm 43.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Well, happy.
My son just sent me a whole video on Hurricane Bob when I lived out in Cape Cod. That was in 1994 92.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, 91, 31 years ago. Like, man, that was like half my life ago. And it seems like just yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like Amy, we're not going to dox her age on here, but she's a little bit older than you. And she rides a sport bike. But I have seen her ride from here to somewhere else, states away and back in a 24-hour period.
Awesome.
She was with us. And she was like, hey, can I go? I'm like, yeah, we're just fucking around. If you want to come along, I don't give a shit. And, I mean, we ride hard and fast, I mean, we're doing allegedly over the speed limit on the highway, and we go through traffic quickly in the rain. Like, typically we speed up in the rain.
Yeah, to get the hell out of it.
It sucks to be in the rain. But that's why they put the lines in the tires. But yeah, she'll keep up, and I mean, I'll say this, and no disrespect to anybody out there, but I have seen more guys with patches on their backs that could not keep up with Amy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you look on social media there, like Chelsea. She was out.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, I don't do much group riding or anything like that, but that's because there aren't, and maybe there are MC clubs in my area. I don't know. Then again, I'm not just going to act like I'm just going to go hang out with them, and don't even know anybody, but yeah. Yeah.
It's us. No, but
I don't know what's going on with the audio. It's like really gurbled or something.
Okay.
It's like echoing and it's like scratchy. It still sounds really like gurgly, I guess. I don't know. I can hear you a little bit, but not super well. Can you hear me fine? I'll drop my camera a couple more times. But yeah, so something that I really want to get across, part of the reason I started my Instagram is, there's a lot of like little girls out there, even that, I want them to look up to people like me and realize, you don't have to be this beautiful supermodel to, get on a bike or, anything like that, because social media always does a really good job making you feel less than. And you don't have to get into a really feminine career either. You can do a trade, you can be a mechanic, you can be a welder, you can be, whatever you want to be. So yeah, just to have, other women that can look up to women like me. And I think that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. So what's your next how-to video you got on the slate?
I think it's going to be how to pick up a bike.
Well, you did say that.
Yeah, I had quite the issue. So I don't know how I dodged COVID for like the last however many years, but I finally got it like 3 or 4 weeks ago. And I'm not vaccinated or anything like that, but somehow I dodged it. Anyway, I finally got it, and it knocked me out. Like, I'm a healthy person, and it knocked me out. And about 5 sitting in my house, I'm like, all right, enough. Like, I got on my bike. I'm like, I'm just going to go do our bank deposit. Everything is going to be fine. Well, I didn't know it, but the township I lived in pebble graveled my road. And so it was sticky with tar, and I got on my bike and I was like feeling a little off. Well, I got on the highway, came back. It was fine. I came home. I took the turn, and I laid my bike down. And so I don't know if you've ever gotten tar, like wet tar on your bike, but hard to come off. And it was like right at the end of my driveway that I dropped it, because the road comes in and it's, my driveway's right there. But I was just like, oh man. At that point, I just got up and walked away. I'm like, I just need a minute. Like, can't believe that just happened right now. But yeah, how to pick up your bike, I think, would be a good one. Safety tips, I guess. I don't know. I listened to one of the best podcasts that, in my opinion, that you guys have ever done has been with Gearhead. I love that guy. Never met him, but he is such a badass. And what he does, I think, is amazing, because knowledge is power, right?
Here's what sucks about Gearhead. He is way more awesome off camera than he is on camera. Like,
that's awesome.
Like
the stories that we heard at dinner.
Yeah.
Well, we can't tell him again because it's his private stuff.
Like he's a professional. Like, he does this for a living, and he represents like a corporation or a company or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So he can't be like goofballs like us. But he has the stories, and he has, he'll fucking throw down drinks, and he'll fucking carry on, and we start talking about guns, and he starts talking about shooting people back in the day, and it's like, fuck, dude, you're cool as shit. Why the fuck don't we talk about this on camera? He's like, well, I try not to. Like, yeah, no, I get it. Yeah.
Gotta be professional. Yeah, certain amount of
like Hoagie.
Oh, Hoagie Carmichael, he was awesome too.
Hoagie, dude.
Yeah, like the same thing with him, right? Because his church people were watching, and so he really didn't want to do too much on the air, but off. I mean, when we were just shooting the shit.
That episode was what, 45 minutes long?
Yeah.
We talked to him for about an hour afterwards.
Yeah.
And he was just telling us all these crazy ass fucking stories about crazy ass shit that happened back in the day, and we're like, dude, why the fuck didn't we? Well, I can't.
I can't. Yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah,
I get it.
What did he say? Lead to his ruination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I gotta say is he had a good time in Canada one time.
Yes.
Yes.
Earned him his nickname.
Yep.
I've bartended on and off. I just think it's fun. I love bartending. I've bartended on and off for probably like the last 10 years. And I could tell you some stories. I could, there's
what kind of bartending did you do? Were it like a popular spot or like a dive bar?
Dive bars. Dive bars are where it's at. I love them. Just people that come in, stories that you hear, and just, I love it.
The kind of dive bar with a shake of the day?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Always got a day. Yep.
How do you guys do your shake of the days up there?
Oh, they're all different. I just got into this talk with somebody. They're all different at all the bars. I suppose if you frequent, so I bartended probably like 5 or 6 different places, and a couple of them did them the same. Otherwise, they're all different.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We always try to do the shake. Well, I try to do the shake a day wherever I go, because you never know.
Yeah.
I go once or twice. I'm probably breaking somewhat even. And the whole you can't farm thing bothers the hell out of me.
Yeah.
I don't know why. If you can't farm dice, and I just, it's like, oh, really? You're not even going to give me a little bit of a chance? You fucking asshole.
Yeah. Like, the places I work, like, they're the place doing like gun raffles and stuff like that. And I'm not. So I recently told Meg, you had Meg's motorcycle on here a couple times.
Yeah.
I told her to hit me up whenever she comes to Minnesota, and she's like, yeah, for sure. I'd love to go ride. And we're quite different, I would say, on the surface, but I think underneath of it, she's got like an inner redneck that I could pull right out of her.
I can assure you that she is like you a lot when you don't see her on camera.
Yeah.
I've met her. I've spent some time with her. So
Yeah, she's
yeah, down in Florida.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of redneck in there, a lot of country girl, a lot of hillbilly.
So yeah, Megan.
She's from
Hi.
Yeah. No, I don't know if she watches or not.
She just watches shit. Come on, Meg's busy.
Watch this one.
She is busy. She's empowered, man.
Yeah, she's doing fucking like 6 videos of fucking thing and fucking
yeah,
all over hell.
So yeah, when I'm not on my bike, bow hunting's coming up here pretty soon. I'm gonna get my bow out. I don't know, Mississippi River's right here. I don't know. I guess you guys aren't close to the Mississippi or any bodies of water, are you? Did you ever get out?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, well shit, you didn't, but I did. We just went up there last year. We ran up to oh shit, where the fuck did we go? Like by Prairie du Chien and shit. Like we crossed usually by like Savannah, Illinois, and then into Iowa, and then right up River Road there.
Okay. Yeah, fish. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm into fishing too.
I bet down in Florida.
Oh yeah.
He makes his own fishing poles. Go ahead and shamelessly plug your fishing poles.
No, I make custom fishing rods. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. I'm not going to shamelessly do that.
No, please.
No. It just pours the fuck out of you. So no, I won't. But I do. I build custom fishing rods.
That's awesome. We could go off on a tangent about all kinds of stuff. We're a professional chef, from my understanding.
Yeah.
I love to cook. I do all the things. I grow a lot of my own food. That's how I grew up. If we didn't grow it and if we didn't kill it, usually we didn't eat it. So, I mean, and that's the kind of people I love meeting out in these bars. I don't know. It's just real people with a real story to tell. You know, I'm part of Blue Collar America too. And, you know, I have to work for all the shit that I have. I drive a little piece of shit car because it's easy to fix. You know, it's not.
I don't even have a car.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I just have all the respect for people who, I mean, like I said, Blue Collar America, they're the backbone of this whole country, you know?
Yep, I agree.
So yeah, but other than, hunting and fishing and stuff like that, shooting guns.
You sound awesome, you know? I mean, yeah.
Right? But see, and that's what I don't understand. You'll have to tell me why I'm not, I mean, I don't know how to build an Instagram following. Like I said, I don't have like,
you don't know shit.
Or like $40,000 bike and, you know, all this stuff, but
you know, here's the thing about social media. There is no fucking playbook. I mean, you just keep doing what you're doing, and it's a slow burn.
I will say this: skin to win.
Well, that too, but I mean, like Meg. You know, we talked to Meg 2 years ago now.
2 years ago, and then last year.
Yeah, and she had like maybe 300-400 followers. Like and we had seen her beforehand. She's probably been doing social media like the way she's been doing it since 2018, 2019, and she's just now starting to take off.
Yeah.
And she's still not to the point where she's, you know, making millions of fucking dollars, but
she probably could if she keeps it up.
Well, exactly. You know, it's a slow burn, you know, like she did like a handful of like relatively popular podcasts and YouTube channels and this and that, and then it slowly takes off from there. You start getting, you know, people that are fans of you. FYI, careful what you wish for, because she's talked about some of the DMs and some of the shit she has to go through on social media, and people aren't nice.
Guys wanting to see your feet and shit, and that's the tame stuff.
That's the tame stuff. Then she'll get like women like freaking out on her about how she doesn't take care of her kids and shit because she's always out there riding motorcycles. And
hell, she put a white seat on her motorcycle and got excoriated for it.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a slow burn. You know, you just keep throwing shit out there, see what sticks to the wall, and then
just be yourself.
Yeah, just be yourself.
That's how I always am. I mean, anybody that, you know, any locals or anybody knows me always say, you know, what you see is what you get. I'm just a real person, you know. I like hanging out with people. I like bullshitting. I like partying. I like, you know, riding my bike. I like doing all the same stuff, I guess.
Oh, we should stay in touch with you and get you back on here and talk again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe I'll have 2 extra followers at that point.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, well,
I mean, we're getting up there. We're almost in double digits.
Almost into double digits.
So that's good.
Right.
You guys are?
Oh yeah.
Ask you to be.
We just talked about dad bods. I mean, shit. I mean, we're getting popular again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
For every gray hair I get,
Tens and tens of followers.
Tens of them. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
No.
I'll make sure I let
Huh?
everybody know about you guys.
What's that?
I'll make sure I let everybody know about you guys. I recommend your podcast to people all the time. I think it's awesome. It gets me.
Resonate with people.
Yeah.
We don't know why.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, you also have it's like a culture thing. You know, like the whole biker / adventure culture is kind of, it's not at its high point right now. You know, I mean, people are engulfed in their phones, and I think it's a pendulum. I think it's going to swing back. You know, I mean, I think COVID threw a monkey wrench in everybody's fucking plans a couple years ago, and they're slowly starting to get back out there. The economy isn't great. Everybody's feeling a financial fucking pressure. So, I mean, because I talk to people that go to like rallies a lot.
Yeah.
And even they've noticed that attendance is way the fuck down. You know,
Yeah.
people ain't got the cash to fucking go out. I mean, when gas is, you know, whatever it is, a fucking gallon, wherever the fuck you are. I mean, that's, well, me and a couple club brothers, we were talking about doing Biketoberfest in Florida. We figured out how much it would cost just for us to get down there and back, fuel on motorcycles. It was over $700.
That's crazy.
And just in gas, not to mention a hotel room and food and all the extracurricular activities that happen down there. You know, I mean, dude, I don't got $2,000 to piss away on a weekend right now.
I know. I'm trying to figure out where they're getting their money from. Like, damn. You know? Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Like, I wanted to go to Sturgis this year. It's like, I can't even afford the fucking gas.
I almost bought tickets to Rob Zombie. I've actually never been to Sturgis. My mom used to live out in the Black Hills. And as much, I don't know, it's kind of like a weekend warrior group of people, it seems. Sturgis, which is fine, whatever. But I saw Rob Zombie was playing, and I'm like, man, that's freaking sick to see him. So, but anyway, I got COVID and couldn't go. I saw Rob Zombie. I mean, he's getting up there too. And that's the thing too, like all the good music. Man, like all these people are getting older, and it's like I wish I could have seen Megadeth in their prime. I wish I could have seen Pantera in their prime. Like I'm so jealous of people who are able to do that kind of stuff, because what do I have? I've got these like rappers that look like cracked out Pez dispensers that, you know, are all auto-tuning and everything, and it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I could go on generation. I apologize other generation about mine, because nobody wants to work for shit, and everybody very easily butthurt about everything. So
to the choir, I lived it. So
yeah, I mean, you know, I remember going to I saw Rob Zombie when he first kind of broke out with Hillbilly Deluxe, and it was, what was it, Monster Magnet, Fear Factory, and Rob Zombie.
Yeah,
it was a badass fucking show, you know. And I try to tell people, it's like the lead singer of Monster Magnet would just float around in the crowd, just walk around, like, you know, that's cool. I'm just gonna chill, you know. And I'm like, dude, you're the, yeah. I'm like, huh, and yeah, you know, I mean, shit like that was fucking rad. Or seeing like Pantera fucking headline Ozfest.
oh man, Ozfest.
Yeah, I mean, and so when people are like, hey man, were you there at the 100th fucking Harley anniversary in 2003? I'm like, no, why? Because fucking Elton John headline. And if that tell you the state of fucking Harley Davidson's fucking corporate office, I don't know what will. When you're like, hey, what do bikers want to hear? Elton John, the gay guy that plays the piano? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Really?
That's what's on my Spotify, is like 90s metal, and you know, I do get down with the really old school country too. Some Hank Williams. I actually just saw Shooter Jennings not too long, and he wasn't bad. He wasn't bad.
You know what? That's actually kind of fucked up, because like heavy metal or hard rock, whatever you want to say, whatever genre you want to call it, 'cause there's like 1,000 different fucking, you know, types of that type of music where it's dudes screaming and fucking playing guitar. That's kind of getting kind of pussy, if, you know what I mean? Like it's getting tame. Yet there's like this resurgence in outlaw country.
Yeah, I awesome. Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, it's a pendulum. It'll swing back. You know.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. I mean, it's awesome to see. I don't care like what you're riding or how long you've been riding. It's just awesome to see people out there, you know? The last cowboys in America is what I always feel like.
Yeah, we've talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we talked. Yeah, it's like the last cowboy / pirates.
Pirates, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of how it feels. You know, because we're not trying to do anything other than just fucking get our dangerous jollies off. You know, and we all Jack Sparrow, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's a weird world. So, fun fact about me: I actually have a criminal justice degree. When I was younger, I was going to be the black sheep of my family and go and actually be a cop. And I wanted to get into it to be one of the good ones out there, right? But after I got into it for a while, I'm just like, you know, you have to uphold laws, even if you agree with them or not. And people are just disrespectful. You're putting your life on the line all the time. And it's just like, well, fuck this. I'm not doing this, you know? Yeah. But it's fun now getting pulled over because we work on all their shit down at my shop. So it's like, go ahead and give me a ticket. I won't put you on the schedule.
There you go.
Yeah.
You want your sirens to work? Well, then I would fucking forget the fact I was going 20 over.
I may not know somebody who may or may not have a collection of police license plates in their garage.
Wow. Well, everybody's got to have a hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stealing shit from cops. Why not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, honey, I got that right, didn't I?
Yep.
It's been a lot of fun talking to you today, and we should definitely stay in touch.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. Yeah,
you're not that far away from us, you know.
I'm not. Go right out sometime if you can.
Yeah,
meet up on the old mighty Mississippi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to just bring people here. I want to go do things.
No, I want to ride too.
Yeah.
We need another big trip before I head down south.
Well, I wouldn't mind hitting up fucking the Mississippi. That's a badass ride.
It is.
Have you guys been in northern Wisconsin much?
Kind of, but on the other side, like
okay,
in Lake Michigan, UP areas, I feel.
Sure. So my family's got a cabin up in Iron River. It's like an hour north of Hayward.
Yeah.
That's an absolutely beautiful ride. Such a beautiful area.
It is beautiful up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hayward's nice too. It's a muskie capital.
Yeah, muskie lunge.
Yeah, you can go stand in that huge muskie they got up there. The big in Hayward.
Yep.
Was a big
yeah.
fish.
Wouldn't your fishing rods be perfect to go muskie fishing?
I'd have to get a very specific rod to use for muskie.
Oh, what kind of fishing rod would you use for muskie fishing?
Well, I'd have to get a LaCroix blank.
Oh, well.
Is there any other kind?
I have no idea. Let's talk about fishing rods.
No, we're not gonna.
No, it's fine.
No, I'm done.
Anybody wants a fishing rod? Comment below. Tank will make you one for a fee, of course. They're not fucking free.
They are not cheap either.
They are not cheap.
Nope.
They are not cheap.
Nope.
People spend tens of thousands of dollars on
I don't know about
rods.
that.
They're gold inlay. They got little pieces. Anyways.
They do. They're pretty nice. They're pieces of art when they're all said and done.
They are. He uses a lot of urethane.
I don't think that we've seen the end of like pandemic days. So people are going to be looking to learn how to hunt and fish and, you know, find you a woman that can grow her own food and run a trot line. You'll be set to go.
There she is right here.
Woo!
Right on. Well, thanks for coming on the show today. We appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys rock. Thanks so much for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. We'll do this again. And I guess we'll hit with the tagline, ride fast, take chances, and keep in mind the most dangerous part in your motorcycle is the nut that connects the seat to the handlebars piece.
Yep.